the first thing you all have to understand is, we've kind of said this a little bit the other day, but we're going to break it down one more time. But the rules of wholesaling have changed, right? And a lot of the underlying principles we do teach are there, but we get so many new people that always come in every single month. So we do try to help as many people, but the rules of wholesaling have changed, right? The old rules, don't care about your cash buyer, give them the middle finger, shove them down, treat them like dirt, treat your sellers like dirt, because it's all about just getting the deal. It's all about that grind, making the big operations and looking like you're the crazy big guy in the suit, right? Those rules are stupid. And these are rules and boundaries set by gurus, right? It's sort of like rules and boundaries set by society, right? Society sometimes tells you have to do this, this, or this for the rest of your life. I was told from my school teachers growing up that I was going to get a job one day, and that's what I'm going to do. And it's just ingrained in your head since you're a kid, right? And when you go against society, it goes crazy, right? And the Wholesaling Real Estate Society group, whatever you want to call it, the community, they've taught you certain ways to get into wholesaling, and they're all fundamentally wrong. And, I feel like Neo in the Matrix, or who's the guy in, who's the Fishburne guy, Lawrence Fishburne? The guy with the glasses without the things.
Oh, it's not Samuel, is it?
No. Lawrence Fishburne is his name. I don't know what his character name was, but
it's a long.
We're trying to break you out of the trap in wholesaling real estate, right? Because these gurus just have such a stronghold on this terrible information. Well, that's what we're trying to share. So, guys, if this is your wake up call, we're gonna do. Is it the blue pill or I think it's the red pill is the real one, right? The blue. I literally watched The Matrix like a month ago, but there's a
third one out now.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I
haven't seen that one.
But guys, there is a quote unquote matrix out there for wholesaling gurus, and I'm saying this respectfully, but a lot of these gurus started wholesaling during when you started wholesaling. They learned it from their guys in the 90s, and their guys in the 90s learned it from the 80s. And really, it's just been the fundamentals from 2002. They stopped wholesaling, so they started guru-ness in 2004, some in 2010, and really they just started wholesaling, and they stopped wholesaling 2015, 2016 mostly. And really what they did was I can make more money as a guru selling courses. And so that's what they started. They started selling courses.
Well, and then the guys, I'm just here to tell you, it is true that you can make more money doing it. That's why they do it. It's part of the game.
Well, if you're a bad wholesaler, then
yeah. The problem is you don't want to be part of this game, because if I'm trying to teach you wholesaling and telling you how to do it, but I don't do it anymore, it doesn't even make sense to me. And everyone does that. Well, a football coach never played football. I'm like, dude, you're talking about 1% of the athletes in the world. I think 10 to 20% of the population could do wholesaling. But the key is you got to be active. How I did it in 2004, it is today. A lot of the stuff's still true, the fundamentals. It's just the techniques and the delivery, the execution of how you do it. But it's, in my opinion, it's like everybody who started wholesaling after 2013, 14, you have this false sense of security of how wholesaling works. And I'm just telling you, it's like night and day.
I agree.
It's night and day. And that's my challenge is everyone 2014 on, I've watched the craziness for 6 or 7 years. And keep in mind, I'm just going to tell you, coaches trading is time for money. End of story. I don't care what you say. That's how it goes down.
We talk to so many coaches
why don't all coaches just partner up with everybody? If they're so good at it, why not just partner up and split the deals, or just, hey, listen, I'll take your first 3 deals. You never see that offer. They go, well, you got to go through my training program, right? You've got to go through my program to get into it.
We have gurus talking to us, and we're not going to reveal names because they got to keep being guru, but they mention it all the time. And these are people out west, they're not in Florida, they're out west, and they're sick of it. So let me explain. So 2015, they stopped wholesaling. And what I want you to understand is a great guru will make more money than a good wholesaler. But an amazing wholesaler will make so much more money than an amazing guru. And that is how we do it. Now, you got to understand, so in 2015, they stop it. They just teach you wholesaling, and they teach you what they learned in 2015. And they're doing it now in 2022, 2023. So you're getting information from 2015. Now, we do wholesaling in 2022. And what we do, we came back literally today from, I don't want to reveal too much, but literally came back today. We were filming a a vlog on one of the other deals. That's on your phone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did another $40,000 deal. We literally did a little vlog on it, and we don't want to reveal too much on that. But literally, we're just talking about the golden opportunities there. So we literally come back from doing active deals, coming back here to live stream, and just telling you how wholesaling works. Like we're just right. Like that's just how we do it. So we just understand. So I guess Morpheus is his name, which I don't know why I forgot that, but
somebody said there's a fourth matrix on that.
Yeah, there's a fourth one.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
I'm just getting through 2.
I know. So what I could tell you guys is there's a blue pill and a red pill. And so the blue pill is pay me 10 grand. I'll stroke your head. I'll hold you. I'll tell you it's okay. Don't worry.
It's going to feel good for about 10 days. And after
you're such a great person. Oh, it's okay. You didn't cold call today. Keep paying me. Yeah, it's okay. Guys, we give you the red pill, and the red pill sucks. Okay. Have you ever had a fish oil pill? Oh man, those things are nasty.
Try straight up fish oil.
Yeah, it's nasty. Unfortunately, that's what it tastes like.
The pill's not bad. The straight up oil is.
Here's the problem: it's gonna stink. You are gonna have to grind, cold call, learn wholesaling, get your hands dirty, or you have to pay some money like to do marketing. But like, it doesn't feel good. But what you're gonna learn is that red pill you're taking is going to open your eyes up to actually how wholesaling real estate works. And how wholesaling real estate works is how every legitimate sales operation works. Because a lot of wholesaling is sales, and sales is all about people, right? You're not selling. I just want everyone to understand how sales works. You're not selling the product. You never are. You're selling what the product will do for the person. Now, I'm not getting a whole sales thing, but that is what it is. So in wholesaling, you're selling yourself to actually go out here and go with you for your cash offer, right? And a lot of people get that confused about how sales work in wholesaling, especially in 2023, but it's all about what you can do for them. People are very selfish because if sales is all about what the thing is, nobody, and I'm telling you, nobody is going to go with you. They'll go with the higher cash offer, or they'll go with another realtor, right?
Yeah.
Why do people buy iPhones? Because they want to be in their own friend group with the little blue bubbles and airdrop, and just because it's better. But that's not the truth, right? So I want you guys to understand it sucks. Like taking that red pill, the red pill's free. There's FY, it's a free one. It ain't $10,000. I'll tell you that.
But it's there. Like honestly, the way the world works today is you're not stuck going to universities and high schools and like all these programs to get the information. That was the old, dude, I grew up in a time where you had to look stuff up in encyclopedias that was sometimes 10 years old. Okay. So the rules have changed. So we're talking about like particularly in wholesaling. I want you to understand is so many people think, well, if I pay that big fee, it's going to solve my problem. I promise you, initially it'll feel that way. And then you're going to see this disparity gap and go, oh my God, like Zach and Rick were right. If I just did that course, I could have done it. Listen, it doesn't matter how you get there. It's where you end up and wind up. The rules have changed. I'm telling you right now, so many people, anyone who tries to tell you that wholesaling is about sales, it's about sales on the courses, like 100%.
Well, no, it is about sales. But the thing is, what I'm saying is sales is people.
Correct.
And that is what it is. So people think about it as sales and they think of Wolf of Wall Street.
So what are people buying these days? Like what are they buying when you go to meet with them in their home? Are they looking for some slick talking salesman?
It's the solution you have.
They're looking for confidence. They're looking for authenticity, and they're looking for empathy. Like, are you going to give me the dignity even though I'm telling you all the dirt on my house? And if you don't connect with those people, there's nothing you can do to get that deal. So if you just want to do it strictly on a transaction basis, is how the current rules are being taught to you right now, you are going to get killed. You have to connect with people to get their barrier down. And it's not so much about selling them. It's just about overcoming their objections. You're being making them comfortable with you.
And we got to destroy the matrix, right? And that's what we're doing. The wholesaling. So let's do. We're going to make a thing called the wholesaling matrix.
Yeah.
It's going to be hilarious, but it is absolutely true. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because we have gurus contact us all the time, and we don't break it down too much, but I can't really get too much of the information, but they're out west and they're sick of it. They do 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of Zooms a day, and they're making $1 million, $2 million.
They're making a ton of money. God bless you, man.
For wholesaling, it's so much better, but like they're making $2 million, but they have to spend 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a weird time on Zoom calls. 9 a.m. to 5 a.m., and they get paid a certain amount of money per Zoom call, which makes them a employee to themselves, right? It's like every time
work.
I had one guy come up to me, a power washer, and I love the power washing industry, right? The guy talking about he's an entrepreneur, and I'm like it's like $30 an hour as an entrepreneur. Like entrepreneurs, when you got someone in the power washing doing the stuff for you. If you're doing it yourself, it's not. So guys, these gurus, they contact us all the time. Like, Zach, how can I start doing what you're doing so I don't have to do this? I'm so sick of this, because everyone asks, like, how much time do you spend on content? And I'm like, okay, so on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 hours. So that's 6, another 3 hours for videos, 9. And then maybe if I have to edit, 12, 15 hours at most, but really it's like 12. And they're like, oh, I spend 50 hours a week on Zooms. And I'm like, and so people are just like, whoa, right? And the honest truth is, you make so much more money in wholesaling real estate. And what we're trying to break down is the people you're listening to are trying to get out of coaching. They're getting paid per hour and they don't wholesale. Like, guys, it drives me crazy. Like, when I tell you to grind and grind it out, that it sucks, I know what it's like. Let me give you a quick example.
That's the
this
truth,
Tuesday,
right?
This Tuesday, 2 days ago, watch my live stream. I cold called for an hour and 45 minutes and got zilch, nothing. I got crazy people wanting too much money for that. I did Arizona, okay, and Connecticut. Holy moly, those people were nuts. They want so much for the house. They're wild, insane. I was like going crazy. No one answered their phone. Some people answered the phone, but I was like, oh my, and this sucked, okay? But guess what happened the last call I did? Just I'm like, you know what? Let's just do one more. $70,000 price reduction. $70,000 price reduction, last deal. And the guy was sick of it. And he owned 4 other properties.
You know, here's the truth of the problem.
It's live. Go to the channel and watch it.
This is why we do the lives, because you need the information like yesterday. You don't need people talking into a teleprompter. Listen, we do some nice videos, but
no teleprompter.
It's really never. I don't even know what one looks like. It's stuff to a teachable lesson. But when we're talking about the stuff today, if you guys aren't getting it live, you are way behind the 8 ball. Number 2, we're transparent. Like, we're not. I mean, we have our points here, but we're telling you the truth.
You see the struggles in those live
So
calls.
here's the difference is you can either have somebody go on the internet, YouTube, whatever, and they can tell you how to do it, or then there's the people that are going to show you how they do it in their business. And there is a tremendous difference in your buy-in. So we could sit here and listen to theory all day long, recorded like sales calls. Why do you think he does live sales calls? Because he gets his teeth kicked in just like you, but he keeps going. And that's the key with it. So many gurus are so scared of like how they're going to be viewed, dude. Like, people are regular, man. I got issues. Everybody's got issues. Everybody pretends like they're perfect. And it's like, so like,
he stepped on an ant pile today.
I got destroyed in an ant pile.
We will break down. It will be on the flip of their channel. He stepped on an ant pile.
You guys know how bad
when he was talking.
They got deep in the shoe and the socks.
You were getting so amped talking about this deal, and then the ant pile. Like,
I went nuts, dude.
Oh my god!
And he filmed the whole thing.
It's going to be on the channel. Don't worry about it. But
what like, I'm saying is, you have people that if someone's so busy telling you how to do it, go find someone that's actually doing it and follow their journey, because everything we do is speak from experience. And God knows I got a lot of experience. He has an amazing amount of experience. And this is the difference I see in the wholesaling. The rules have changed because when someone lectures to you and they think they're better than you, and like, this is how I do it, you have to, this is what I do. This is theory like what I do. And like, hey, dude, let's go to property. Let's show you how it's done. Let's get rid of the editors. Let's just film stuff and be raw and authentic. Dude, either you connect with me or not. Honestly, I don't care. If you want to go on the wholesaling journey, why not take it from people that are being true and authentic? Now, if I'm going to be true and authentic, then I want you to resonate with it so you can go back to your sellers and do the same thing. Because the number one comment I got when I was in the heat of the fire doing all the appointments is, you just feel like a real guy. I get you. And I would get significant discounts over people paying more because I connected with people.
You pulled up on those deals with the Honda Accord. And that helped, right?
Honestly, in the first year I walked out, I go, I cannot believe people will sell me a house.
No. All right. Let's talk about 2005, 2006, all right? Because I remember I was a little kid. What car, you know this, the white car, did you pull up and do a bunch of deals in 2007 and 6?
Was it the big?
The white.
Oh yeah, I once. So I got a little cute.
No. I'm talking about 2005, 2006.
Was it the van or the big
The
truck?
minivan.
Oh,
You closed deals in a minivan.
oh, that was bad.
You pulled up in a minivan starting out in wholesaling and
Because
closed
he's
deals.
throwing food and wrappers, everything
He
in the
closed
back.
deals in a minivan. So like it doesn't matter
Oh, I
what you
didn't
pull
care.
up in. But no,
I-
did the seller care?
No, they don't. They could care. The only time the seller cares if you show up in a super slick car.
I know.
It will actually create problems for you. So back in the old days, guys, you used to be able to buy a car for $1,000, $1,200, all beat up. I knew other wholesalers, that's what they did. And they only used that car to drive to appointments because the humble guy, the regular Joe Blow that can connect with people, the sellers will connect with it. If you talk above the seller, the people go, do you know who I am? It does not work in this business. They want to go, listen, are you going to give me the dignity? Are you going to help me out? And do you know what you're talking about? And can I connect with you? Like, would I go and have dinner with you, or would I go get a cup of coffee or grab a beer with you? And if they can't answer that, I don't know about you, but I've learned long time ago, and I've dealt with a lot of people. If there's someone I wouldn't go and grab a beer with or get a coffee with or have over to my house dinner with my family, I'm not going to be any type of business partner with you.
They've pretty much found the last, and I don't get political, the last 10 presidents, they've polled every American, and they've done the craziest polls of who will most likely win the presidency. And it comes down to one question for men, not really women, but for men, who men will vote for. No political, like from Democrats and Republicans. What is the number one question you have to ask to see if this guy's going to be president or not? Ready? Will I have a beer with this person? That is the number one question for men of why they'll choose president, not policy. This isn't about like policy, left, right, middle. Could I have a beer with that person? This is why I'm not getting political. This is why JFK won. That is clearly why Clinton won. That's why both Bushes won. That's why Jimmy Carter won. That's why Reagan won. That's why all these presidents won. That's why Obama won. That's why I can't say the other one because the last president before this president, that word is actually a keyword that gets me in trouble. I can't even say the current one because that gets me in trouble. But those past ones, they've done studies, and those people, men said, I'd want to have a beer with that person, and they have won.
Hey, they show them on video. Obama did sat down, had like beers with people, and it just goes to show
every president does that now. But I'm just showing you, like, that is how human beings, Americans, choose who's going to be the leader and who have all the codes and lead the military.
They don't care what car you pull up in, anything like that. Is like, how can I connect with them?
That's men. Women are a little different, but I'm just talking about for men. Like, it's just it's not about how slick of a talker you are either. Like, I tell you, George Bush wasn't the most slickest talker, right?
Yeah.
But he with 2 terms, right?
So here's a little trick. So when we're dealing with sellers, and remember, you got to get down to business on the negotiations. When you're done with your negotiations and you get what you want, and they still want to hang out with you, you have done a phenomenal job doing it, because a lot of times we run the risk of people changing their mind and stuff like that. And then when we get deep in the rapport, I tell people, take a time out, do a transition, get into what you're there for, get into negotiations. And then at the end, if you want to hang out and talk, or maybe even like, grab a bite to eat or something, you can do that. And like, it is the final endorsement of like, okay, I've won. And if you're not having sellers doing that, you're missing the point, because maybe you follow rules of people who are lecturing you, telling you what to do, instead of, hey, let me show you how I do it. Here's how we make a cold call. And matter of fact, why don't I just do it live?
That's the point.
That's it, guys. I'm just telling you. So when you look at people, and if they try to raise themselves on a pedestal and they're better than you, nobody is better than anyone else. I don't care if you got $50 billion. You are no better than the person to the left or right of you. And your sellers know that. And the minute you think you're just super tough and you're invincible, you will not relate to people, and you better go find people, and you better teach them how to relate with people, or you're going to get killed in this business. These rules of like going through high quantity, huge things of data, and just being a robot. Listen, the initial screening, I get it. But when you connect with these people, you've got to make it real. Authenticity and empathy rules in today's market. I will tell you, the predominant coaching in wholesaling is the opposite. It's a numbers game. You got to drive. It's ridiculous, guys. Slow down, help these people out, dig through your leads, get your list. Like today we were just looking on one deal, and like, I go, hey, what about this house here? What about this one? And like, we got excited. I'm like, oh my God. I love
Well, we
this
don't want to spoil the
business.
video.
Yeah, I
But
know.
like I'll tell you, we did some cool drawing. So we did a deal there, and we basically told everyone, we'll give a little spoiler. Every single time we have a really good deal, if we drive for dollars for 15 minutes, we'll probably get 15 really good drawing for dollars leads, and most likely a deal out of that.
Yeah.
We spent 30 minutes and I think got 25, 30 driving for, and we recorded the whole thing. It'd be pretty cool, but I'm just letting you guys know that's what it is. So what is the key? Why the rules have changed? What are the rules? Guys, we have Wu-Tang behind us. The reason why I chose Wu-Tang for the background today, number one, because you don't listen to Wu-Tang, so I'm trying to get him to listen more.
I probably did
But
when I was younger.
you
I
do.
don't know.
But Wu-Tang in the 90s kept it real. They rapped about what real life was in New York, and they kept it real. No crazy melodies, no crazy, like, what are the people? They just kept it legit.
You don't
and
want
that's
me
why
rapping.
they're amazing. Okay. That is why they're awesome. So I'm telling you straight up, guys, you have to keep it 100. You have to keep it legit. You have to be you. You can't be somebody else. You have to be yourself. So let's get into how to crush your competition. We've kind of talked about it a little more, but how do you beat your competition, right? There's so many ways to be doing this and ways that we can really go with this. We kind of talked about the number one way. Why have I always crushed all of my competition when I have a deal? So when we have a deal and there's like 6 other wholesalers trying to get that deal, following everything like that, where's the number one rule we did to succeed? Number one, every single time we got the lead, we set the appointment, not when I felt like it or when it was convenient. I actually made it super inconvenient. I made it as soon as I can, I'd go meet the person. I don't even care. Like, I never cared. Like, oh, shoot, I got to go work out. I don't know, workout going, right? Like, guys, you have to go on the appointment as soon as you possibly can. Now, things have changed a little from then. Motivation is more important, but still, even in a saturated market, you got to set that appointment as soon as possible. And the most important part about that, set the appointment with conditioning them. If you cannot condition them, it's not an appointment. They have to be ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the property once you go there. If you can do that, you will, number one, beat your competition, because the reason why your competition didn't beat, like my competition didn't beat me, is because I got the contract before they did.
Yeah.
Always, right? And it's always the guy like, oh, can you close it right now? And they feel no, hey, let me go by and see it. That's it. Are you ready to make a decision on selling it, or just serious about selling this, or am I wasting my time? Because I always won, because I went on there as soon as possible. I wasn't a better talker. I wasn't smarter. I wasn't starting out, I was not the slickest person with the sales, right? But I always just showed up, and I showed up quick and on time. And that won me. That won me the appointments, right? And that is always the truth. I think so many people get it over their head like, oh, Zach, I have an accent. This is not good. Go on the appointment faster then, right? Like, there's things you can overcome if you think you have a struggle with something. And I've always destroyed my competition from that, because number one, everyone thinks if you want to beat your competition, you have better prices. And that's never the thing. Talking about the iPhone, right? Are iPhones cheaper or more expensive than Androids? There's some very expensive Androids, but overall,
more expensive.
They're more expensive. Does Apple?
Trust me, I know. That.
I know. Does Apple crush their competition though? Pretty much.
Hands down.
Why is that? They don't get the market share, but their prices are so high, they make more profits than anyone else, because it's about the product. It's about the person. It's about how someone feels when they go with it, not because of the price.
No.
The price is not the thing. So how do I beat my competition? I don't focus on being the high. So it's kind of flipped, right, with wholesaling. The cheap guys are the ones that always offer the highest. I always offer the lowest. I'm the most expensive for my seller, but they know 100%. Rest assured, I have my buyers. I'm ready to go, and I will get the deal done, right?
Yeah.
I'm a man of my word, and I have confidence that I can help you out, and I will help you out. Guys, I'm faster than everyone else, especially when I'm starting out, and still when I used to go on appointments. Number one. Number two, I was never the highest offer, never, but I was the most certain one. And I knew how to talk, and I knew how to get someone to say yes or no decision, because once you get someone to agree to make a yes or no decision, you got them right there. You just got to make them do a yes or no, right?
Guys, keep in mind, the number one thing a motivated seller wants, I'm not talking about a retail, they want certainty. They want it done. They don't want to think about it anymore. So remember, you can't strike a great wholesale deal unless the motivation's there. And their number one thing is they have anxiety about the property. They don't want to give it away. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're going to have to haggle on it a little bit, but they're looking for the person that is 100% guarantee. And that's the biggest thing that you are selling, is yourself and your confidence. So here's a little trick. I'm just going to tell you, you should be your own competition, meaning you only has to rise to your level, because if you look at all the other people, you go to local RIAs and stuff like that, you're not going to get excited about your competition because it's all talk. So don't try to elevate above them. You just set the standard on your own. Go faster to the appointments, respond quicker, be yourself, be authentic. And if you don't know the answer, go get the answer and just be transparent and honest with them. I'm telling you, what if you're looking, I have so much competition, you're not getting the point of it.
Yeah.
You have to be so above your competition, you could care less. I could care less what our local competition does because I know how they operate, and I'm constantly trying to push the envelope of what we do. So
I agree. It's so funny though.
The only competition is really yourself. Like, you are in race. Look at it as like you're a marathon runner. You're just trying to beat each day by a few more seconds.
Yeah. So that's how you beat them. So if you're in a saturated market, right, how do you win? Right. So I think number one, like, this is super, super duper important, but like, you got to go faster than your competition.
Speed kills.
Speed kills it. And guys, if it was all about price in a saturated market, the highest bidder would always win, and it'd always be listed with a realtor. There's a reason why they want to take a discount. Once they decide they want to take a discount, it doesn't really matter, right? And just that's the truth. And so many people get caught up on the price, the perfect offer. So many people get so stressed out over it. And the problem I have with competition and, saturated markets is competition is always when you're in the same boat. And what do I mean by that? If everyone's cold calling the tax lien list, yes, there's competition, right? If everybody's texting a pre-foreclosure list, yes, there's competition. But my favorite thing to do in a saturated market and in a quote unquote competitive market is earning my list. And so many people they buy the list and they think that's like it. Guys, you have to earn your list. How do you earn a list? Number one's drawing for dollars, right? Reverse drawing for dollars. Number three is like just getting the water shutoff list, getting the fire damage property list. The super duper difficult list to pull, you earned it. Okay. You earn that list. And once you earn that list, your competition can't pull it. And that is how you destroy it. It's just like, I don't like the analogy shooting fish in a barrel because I think it's stupid, but I'd rather go catch a fish. But like, that's what it is. Because if you seriously are the only one going after that list, there's no competition. And it's virtually nothing, right?
I agree.
And I think a lot of people look at competition as a bad way. Every single appointment I've ever been on in the past 3 years, there's always 5 or 6 wholesalers. Always higher offers. Always this, always this. I didn't care. Because like, are they there right now?
Yeah.
Are they ready to make an offer? Do they have a contract? Do they have EMD ready to go? Never, right? And so I never cared. I always cared about helping the person out. And that is how you win. That's how you do it. But you got to earn your lists. And I think one thing a lot of people get really stressed out over, is just getting the perfect list. You're not going to be perfect. You guys, when I have my live cold call Tuesday, I'm not perfect, right?
Yeah.
I ain't bad, but I ain't perfect. Okay. And the one thing you can figure out is I'm probably one of the best cold callers out there, and I am not perfect. I'm not the best cold caller when it comes to being the slickest or something like that. No, but I can connect with people and I can bring out my genuine personality with the seller. And y'all know, like, I ain't the slickest person when it comes to just acting like a sales. I just regular person, right? I'm a regular Joe, regular Zach. I don't know how to say it the right way, but like, that's how you do it. So I think that's a really important strategy. The next one here is sharing the wealth. And I think so many people in this new economy for wholesaling real estate, they're so greedy. And I'm just being completely honest. And I always call gurus greedy for charging all this money, but like, so many wholesalers are like, oh, I got to hoard my cash buyers list. I don't want to help anyone.
I can't give away my secrets
yeah.
because I've spent so much time. Listen, everybody learned from somebody.
Yeah.
If you think any guru, me, Zach, like we invented everything ourselves, all we did is take what other people did and we find a better way to do it. And you know what? Me and Zach are counting for people on this stream to take what we do and even make it better, because we all win when we do that. But I want you guys to understand, we're talking about the rules have changed. Wholesaling was always a basic skill set to get started in real estate investing. To me, it's the most important skill set, because if you can learn how to make money with little to none of your own money and just make it grow and prosper and minimize the risk, your options are unlimited in real estate. But if you don't start with that core skill set and you have a guru or someone say, hey, listen, do this because it's easier than wholesaling, that's the trap you're going into. There is no easy way out. You have to put in the work. I don't care what industry you are, unless you have some God-given ability, like you have an amazing voice or something, God bless you, but they still have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that. So you know that wholesaling is a basic skill set that honestly, it takes a concentrated 3 to 6 month effort. Okay. Gurus know this. It's a basic skill set, guys. I'm sharing it. I'm sharing the wealth. I don't think we should even charge for it because it's so ridiculously easy. And nobody wants you to know that. So listen, I can't stop what other people are going to do. I can just change the way the business works. So we're on a huge movement. I know we have a lot of people that hate what we do, but I'm not screwing their business up. They're not just changing with the times. Remember, everyone used to, my parents used to have like a landline, and that's how we talk to everyone. Look where we are now. My God, could you imagine if we all stuck to the landline? Things change and you have to change with it. This is the best way me and Zach can have the biggest impact on everybody. And if I sat here and charged everyone for every little nickel and dime, it's ridiculous. So this is how you create a legacy. So share the wealth. Why do we have to guard it? I'm not teaching you like 20 different techniques on how to do everything real estate investing. We're teaching how to get started because that is the biggest obstacle you guys have to overcome. How do I get started? How do I get to it? The best way is go find a deal, make it work, make the money, and then repeat it. Get up to your first 100 grand. Then you can decide how you want to scale your business and the things you want to do. But so many people want to sell you the entire doctorate course, evergreen, lifetime. And to me, it's just like, let's see if we get started. If we know there's a 95% failure rate, let's go help the 5% of the people want to hit it out of the park. It's just the truth. Wholesalers will tell you they can help everyone. They can't. They're not wholesaling coaches. And that's the problem is we're going to give you the red. Is it the red pill?
Red pill. Yeah.
You got to do the work. So if I charged you 10 grand, I'm going to say, Zach, you can do it. You can, because you know what? He's already got the 10K.
Yeah.
Does he really care if you succeed or not? Because he's already got the money in his bank account. If you succeed or not, there's no buy-in for this person.
True.
It's just the truth. It's like if I can find 100 people, I know 90 to 95 are going to fail. And then I'm going to have 5 testimonials. This is the reason why all testimonials are handpicked in these things. So if you ever want to get a true depth of any type of product, look at all the testimonials. You can't just look at the positive, and like we all look at it and you find out which way it's going. So
yeah. And what else I mean by share the wealth is a lot of you guys are just, you think of your competition as terrible evil, but like find a way to make money with them, right?
Yeah, partner
Even
up.
our like I figure a way to make money all the time with them, right? Because sometimes I have a buyer, that they need help with, and then sometimes they have a buyer need help with, and we'll make a ton of money, right?
Yeah.
I have a lot of new people that come to me in Port St. Lucie and like, how do I get started? And I'm like, well, I ain't going to give you my best stuff. And that's probably mean, but still I say, well, you know what? Here's some places, here's some neighborhoods, drive for dollars, and we can split the deal.
And by the way, everyone's come to our market, like
everyone, but I make money from.
But I'm just telling you, like you have to beat us. And that's the challenge. I love when people say, oh, I just come there. It doesn't work like that anymore, guys.
Yeah. Some people do well though. Like I had a guy come in our market. He went to JV with us and they made $60,000 on an assignment fee.
Yeah.
And I think we made 10, but not a big deal. But like, there's people that do it virtually. What I mean by that though is like, if there's somebody new's coming up to you, don't like just just shove them away. Like don't do it. Cause they're going to go learn our course and they're going to learn how to do it either way. Like they're going to learn how to wholesale in your market either way. So what I mean by that is why don't you share some of the wealth they're going to make though? So go ahead.
So remember how we talked earlier, we're talking about how the rules change wholesaling. Anyone who thinks they're above you, be very wary because they're doing it for positioning themselves most likely to take advantage of you to sell you something. It's just the truth. Let me give you an example. Why does one guy have to wear a jacket in the room? Like why? They do it because studies tell them it seems like they're important. And if someone thinks they're more important to you, why on heck on earth would you even like it just, you guys ever been around? You're like, do you know who I am? Or you're like, do you know who my dad is? It drives me nuts. So we're talking about the rules changing in wholesaling. When I started in wholesaling, it was common practice for wholesalers to work together. Okay. I was really good at finding motivated sellers. I sucked at finding cash buyers. I'd find people with deep cash buyers list, and we had a blast for about 7 or 8 years. Somewhere it changed. And it's when the mortgage meltdown happened, and then a new wave of wholesalers came, and now it's like, don't ever work with another wholesaler. All we want to do is like screw each other over. And I'm just telling you, we have to go back to a world where wholesalers actually work together. He's great at a cash buyers list. I'm great at finding motivated sellers. Let's work together and split the deals. But for a long run, I would have the motivated seller, and then I would have a cash buyer saying, I get 70% of the deal. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense to me. So I don't know how these rules got changed. Guys, you tell me in the comments, do you work with other wholesalers? Because those days are like tough, man. Like, and when I started out, I wouldn't have survived probably without those wholesalers, to be honest with you, because I couldn't figure out how to do cash buyers. I spent so much time on motivated sellers. So the rules have changed. I think we need to go back to having wholesalers work together, especially during these market shifts. It's more important we network and help each other right now. And guys, I'm talking about organic networking. I connect with you. We make money off each other. A paid mastermind and stuff, that's good for theory, but it's not going to help you out in your local business. It's going to make you feel good temporarily.
I agree.
But it's not going to give you anything to fix your current issues.
So that's what I'm talking about. So if you could find someone that's brand new, they're going to learn freewholesaling.com. So like they're going to get the secrets. Just everybody gets
it. There's no more secrets.
But everyone, if you want the money and you want to work hard, you can do it. So why don't you still share the wealth with them? So if they're on the come up, they're going to probably, if they're going to be really good, they're going to be good no matter what. It's like, I love, because NBA players and NFL players do this all the time. If I see a new up and coming athlete, like if I see a Kobe Bryant who's 18, and if I'm like a Michael Jordan type guy, I'm not going to be like, I don't want to teach him basketball because he might be better than me. He's going to get good no matter what. So why don't you go train with the guy, and then maybe you could share some knowledge together, right? And that's sort of the point. It's like, if they're going to be good wholesalers, they're going to, like, there's nothing you're going to do to stop them. There's not one piece of information that's going to change everything. So why don't, if they're starting out, be like, hey, here's some good places to drive for dollars. Just split the deals with us. I'll close it because you need help closing, and we can split some deals for a little bit. You could make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 and just share the wealth. You got 4 or 5 of those people going on. It's money, right? I teach everyone, like, you have to share the wealth. It'll change your mindset with a lot of things, and you'll be good. But it's so important. But yeah, like you said, these gurus, they drive me crazy.
So anybody who starts a conversation with you to go, do you know who I am? I want you to go like this. You don't know who you are? Do you want me to look it up for you? It just drives me nuts when people go, do you know who I am? They're trying to downplay you. Like, I'm here, you're there.
I know. You're,
but you can't. The problem is, if you're going to network with people, it's hard to do it when you start out with that. So the best way to network with someone is just use your ears and listen to them and be a student. And you don't have to take in all the information, but take the stuff that works for you.
I agree. So the next one here is to get out of your own head and get out of your own way. I think so many people, they get so caught up in how they think they look or sound or do. It stops them from being successful. And I want you guys to understand how wholesaling works now. This is not 1984. This is not 1983, where
you taking a dig on me there? Or?
No, but like there were different times, right? So if you maybe, I don't know, like if you were a kid starting out in business, you weren't as respected as it is now, right? You weren't probably as respected if you, like, I'm just like, it's true, right? Like you probably won't be, some people aren't going to be as respected in the 80s as they are now. And like, so if I go to, let's say, Alabama, and I have, you know, I'm from Pakistan, I have an accent. In the 80s, I'm probably not going to get a deal. Some people are just, it's different times, right? They're not used to that. It's normal now. Like, guys, I think I got one guy told me, he's like, oh, I have a Spanish accent. And I'm like, dude, you live in Broward County. No one's going to care. Okay. And so many people get in their own heads like, oh, I have an accent. Guys, this is 2023. Nobody cares if you have an accent. Okay. And I've told everyone, the richest people in real estate have accents, right? That Swedish guy, that realtor who makes $50 million a year.
Yep.
He has a Swedish accent.
Yeah.
He wasn't born in New York. No one cares. Like, oh, but wouldn't they care if I wasn't born in Missouri? Nobody cares. Okay. Like, it's normalized, right? And I just think so many people get in their own head of why they can't get the deal. And nobody cares. Yeah. It's confidence.
Let me give you an example. Have you ever heard your own voice recorded? You go, oh my God. But here's the weird thing is, he thinks the same, I think the same, and you guys think the same. And like, we're two guys on camera talking live in front of you, telling you how weird our voice sounds on video. So if we think it's weird, I want you to understand it's completely normal. If I let that get in the way of us giving you guys content, we would not be having this connection and you guys wouldn't get all this information for free. So get out of your own head. He used to tell me, he goes, stop worrying about what you do. Let's just shoot the videos and give them what they want. And that's all we do.
But yeah, guys, you got to get out of your own head and out of your way. Once you just start doing, it works so much better. And, every time you start thinking, like, what do I mean by getting your own head? In that 2-hour cold calling session, you can get in your head sometimes. You're like, let's just stop calling. Right?
We beat ourselves up more than anybody.
You got to do it right. And the truth is, get out of your own head and way, hey, you committed to 2 hours. You're going to do the full 2 hours. And since I committed to it, I got the deal. I make my schedule. I stick to it. Okay. Like if I don't do that, then how am I going to expect you guys to do it? Right. And so I did it and got a great deal at the end. It's the truth. And that's what it is. So the next part here, something I always teach everyone really well, but to lowball, and specifically for lowballing is to go for no. Guys, you have to go for no, right?
It's more critical now than ever. You could have got away with your current structure from 2013, maybe even part of 2022, but I'm telling you guys, this one is coming back for real. Go for no is you've got to find the bottom line price, the deepest discount you can get, because you don't know where the end price is going to lie and you have to have room. The good thing in wholesaling is we're typically moving a property in 30 days or less, so it can't drop too far on you. But the bigger the spread you get, the more options you get. The biggest problem people have had in the last 5 or 6 years, you guys just pay too much for properties and you expect the cash buyer to bail you out. Those days are over. So you're more important now to go for no. And if you guys have never heard of this, it means when you make your initial offer, you want to get a no. If you get a yes, you should fear how much you just paid for it. So if you get a no, the idea is to get a counter back to them so you can get to a price that's going to work for both parties. It's going to work for you. It's going to work for the seller. And more importantly, it's going to work for your cash buyer. You have to figure this out. Go for no.
Yeah, guys. So going for no is giving an offer and going for them to say no.
Correct.
The goal of the offer is for them to say no to it. And once you start doing that, you're going to make more money. So like, how do you get rich? Like, just increase the amount of money per deal, right? I think everyone thinks it's a crazy algorithm, how much money you make in wholesaling. It is literally how many deals you do multiplied by what's the average profit per deal.
Mm-hmm.
How do you double your income? I promise you, it is easier going from an average of $10,000 deals to $20,000 deals. And then, all right, let's say you do a deal month and you're making $10K a deal. So you're making $120K a year. It is so much easier to do $20K per deal and then do 10 deals versus and just doubling per profit or doing 20 deals. It's so much easier just increasing the margins than to actually increase the amount of deals you do, right?
Yeah.
You got to double your output. And if you're spending 40 hours a week cold calling, you're going to have to double that. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah, if you had 100 people, if you had to take $1 from 100, so if you took $1 from 100 people, made $100, you would have to bat 100%. Or if you just took $20 from 5 people, it would be the same result with so much less work. And you guys got to understand that it's, do you want to just sit there and beat your brains out over 100 people, or just go find the motivated sellers like me and Zach always tell you, and go get the spreads, and they'll hug you and they'll thank you and you'll walk away better and your cash buyers are happy and it's a win-win. You guys struggle the most when you're making offers on everything and you think getting that contract. And the reality is the gurus created this mess. The truth comes out when you give it to your cash buyer. On your 10th or 12th cash buyer, you're like, hey, Rick and Zach, I'm really struggling to sell this deal. I don't even have to know what the problem is. I'm going to tell you, you paid too much for it. Hey, did you go for no? No, I took the first offer they would take. And that's 90% of the problem with this business. And for the last 5 to 7 years, everyone's got to pass on it. It's coming back to haunt all these people. All these programs, you have to go for no. If someone doesn't teach you to go for a no, you are going to have to like bat 100%.
I agree. So the next one here is, we've kind of said this in the beginning, but focus on the people and the problem, not the sale or the house. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I got to get this person to agree to. Guys, you're not supposed to force somebody to want this. I always get this question all the time. This is the worst question ever. I never say there's a bad question, but this is the closest thing to it. How do I convince somebody to go with my offer? Or how do I convince somebody to sell their house for, $50K below what it's worth? You don't convince somebody. Either they want to sell it for that or they don't. Like it's never good, right? Like if you have to convince somebody to go out on a date with you, it's usually not good, right? You can't convince somebody.
So you guys like
It's either
if
organic,
you force
right?
someone to go on, that's why they're calling you the day before. They don't want to go on the date on you. And for those of you putting under contract and people keep falling out, you didn't like you tried to force it. Every now and then it happens, but if you have a high fallout ratio, it just means you did not do a good enough job to make your seller feel comfortable with you. How do you make them feel comfortable? Be yourself, be authentic, be be empathetic. And I hear a lot of this business. We talk about the rules change. Wholesaling is all about speed and convenience. Dude, the speed part is somewhat correct. Convenience,
It
I
is
don't.
because it's cash, but you got to remember
You're
if
leaving
that's
out
what-
the most important part.
But if you don't include the people with that, it's done.
Correct. If you can't be empathetic and help them out and go, listen, I'm here to help you. Because when you start speed and convenience, you sound like a check cashing store. Check, next, check, next, checks,
Yeah.
next. And what, so if I'm in a check capping store and I use the same velocity, I'm like, what's going on? Why do we need this pay loan type of deal? That's what you have to do. But
Yeah.
we're trying to turn this business into like a cash convenience store. I get it, but honestly, you're missing the part of it. Listen, real estate is nothing more than a symptom of human problems. Okay. The reality is we're dealing with people and their emotions and what's going on, and life has changes. You all know that. And we're just trying to help them. The real estate is just a symptom. So the real estate's the mathematical problem. You need to connect with these people and really get into the inner core of what's going on and help them. And the biggest thing, speed, convenience, dignity is what most of these people want. Because when you go in a train wrecked house with a lot of things going on, and there's people have passed away and stuff like that, the number one thing they want is dignity from you. And if you can't give it to them, the rest doesn't matter. And for the last 7 years, we've skipped this part. I'm guys here to tell you, like, connect with them. If you've ever had the ability to sit and cry with a seller, you're an incredible person. And it's just the truth. I have. It's just the type of person I am. I know he's done it a lot of times. I've seen some crazy stuff happen, but if your sellers hug you and they go, you're the greatest thing, you did your job. And that's the piece we're making. Speed and convenience, dude, it's like an algebra problem when you're missing some of the data. Like, you will not succeed on that alone.
I think so many people take the human element out of real estate, and it's so bad
It
because
is the main element.
a lot of the gurus are like that. You know, it's the problem I have with the gurus is they're so fake and it's not authentic, and like it's not about the people. Like, someone do a video and it's all about how I can get you to sign up for my course at the end, or sign up for this guy's thing. Guys, if you act like that, because you learn from those people, then you start acting like them, and you start acting like all fake and crazy. You get crazy eyebrow things going, and like you're trying to pretend like you're like they're all acting.
Listen, if they're authentic,
authentic.
Just if your program is amazing and it's what you say it is, just put a link and let people click onto it. Why do we have salespeople trying to close you, paying them 15, 20% commissions?
I've never sold anyone on freewholesaling.com. It's the number one course by signups. I don't convince people to do it.
Yeah.
I say it's free. Go check it out. You don't have to, but it's attractive because it gets results.
No.
But one thing I can tell you guys is you have to focus on the people. Do not pretend like you're somebody you're not. Seriously. Act like you're yourself and actually care. And if you actually care about people, which unless you're a sociopath, is that what, like, you're kind of you're disconnected from emotions with people? Unless you're like that, which most people aren't, you'll be fine in this business. So the last and most important part is a lot of people feel like people act like you have to work twice as hard to make twice as much money. And the truth is, your competition is going to zig and you got to zag, right? So your competition is going to focus on most likely pulling more lists and doing more volume to double their deals and make more money. And all you have to do to beat your competition is double the effort you spend on your follow-ups and with people, on the amount of times you're talking to sellers, the amount of times you're on the phone to seller, and double the amount of time you're following up. I promise you, if you double the effort you take on just the people and not double on the list or anything like that, you will make double the money. And your competition's not going to be able to. They might get 10% more, 20%, but if you just focus more on the people, you'll win every single time. And this is something that nobody ever talks about. We talk about it, and that is our biggest secret. And maybe our competition is going to use this. I don't care. You can't replicate me caring about somebody, okay? Because we know from our heart it's genuine. Not most wholesalers can't do that. Most wholesalers can't. And if you can do it, you will get rich. And so many people don't understand that. You know, everyone talks about Grant Cardone, right? And how Grant Cardone's like the slick sales guy. He's not. He's sometimes with it a little, but like he's a people person too, right? And I think so many people look at the greatest salespeople in real estate. It's all about people, and it's never about convincing. So just I want you guys to understand that you to double your output, follow up on the people and the follow ups versus the lists, and you'll do well.
Yeah, because not you, and if you understand the principal rule that timing is everything, especially in wholesaling, you have the right arrow and you've shot it at the right house, meaning a motivated seller. They're just not quite ready to move on with that property. So you spend all the time, the money, the energy, the cold calling is put the time and effort on the follow up because a lot of times the follow up is mostly phone calls and text. And I told you I've waited 2 to 4 years for a deal. Like it doesn't really cost it. You have to pay attention and put it in your CRM, but you never know. Just like when he made that extra cold call the other day, got one deal, 70K discount. That's how you got to do it. Follow up is huge and it's often overlooked. Look at your dead leads and just like when you run out of leads, just go through your dead leads and then the follow up because it's timing. So when they're ready to sell, are you going to be on? Do not depend on like a little sticky note or a card or a mailer postcard on the fridge. Just reach out to them. And it's huge, guys.